Hi there, and welcome to PanchaTANTRA Programming. Now, as a volunteer to the camp, if you are ready to participate in the second camp for Level 1, let's look at a few things which you will be doing with the children. So, the children are going to be creating the second digital story. There are going to be multiple scenes, and they are going to learn how to do some motion, make character, walk, and animate. So this cues in very well after the first introductory session of the story, where pretty much in one scene they had placed characters and there were dialogues amongst them. They had dubbed them and they were very, very excited. And we have seen at least some of the children really getting curious about animation. So here is what we will move on to. So moving over to Scratch software. Okay, so what we're going to do in this session is we're going to create a title scene. Then we're going to um, put up a charkha there. Well, that's an element you are going to actually use in the story. And then we will see and make some character walk. Right? So we will do it in 3 to 4 scenes so that you are comfortable with scene switching and motion. So we are going to look at backdrop. So this is a first backdrop and we are going to create a title here. Let us learn to make a multi-scene story. Okay, we are going to call this title page. What we're going to do is we're going to code it saying that as we begin the story, that is when the green flag is clicked, we want the first scene, the backdrop, to be title. So we go to look and we have something called switch backdrop. So this title page has been selected here. Now on this title page, what we will do is we will make a charkha. We will use a charkha and give it motion. So I'm going to pull up a charkha. So this time on character, instead of using from the Scratch library, I'm going to upload sprite from the machine. So here is my charkha. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to remove the code. So if you look at charkha, go to the costume. So you can see there are 5 costumes and I'm just going to hover over each of them. So as I moved over them, you saw you already got a feel of the charkha moving. So basically what it is that the blades have been put together with a little bit of movement in each costume. And when you move fast enough over these costumes, you see a moving charkha. So basically if you were to translate it into code, what we're doing is we are changing costumes. So let's go and start coding. So here what we want to do, we want to put this charkha on the first scene itself. So we are going to pick up the event when backdrop switches to title page. Then we want to, so anything related to look is going to be under the look category. So that is where costume, we will find costume. So we're going to go switch costume. So we just switch costume 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 5 costumes. So I have, that's what I've done. And now I'm going to press on the green button. Now what is happening is that even though costumes are switching, they're happening at such a fast pace that our eyes are not able to perceive the movement. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it some pauses. So the wait is another control block. So we're going to put wait after each of them. And now let's give it a spin. Now we can see a really slow moving charka. If you want to move it fast, we are going to just reduce the speed and I'm going to half it. Okay, so this is how our charka is moving. Now we obviously don't want to just do it once, we want to keep doing it. So this is where we are going to introduce the children for the first time on loops. Loops repeat forever. In advanced coding, program coding languages, there are quite a few different loops. Here primarily we have repeat and forever and repeat until. So let's use the repeat loop here. I'm going to put repeat and I'm going to repeat it, say 100 times. So the charka will go on till it has done this 100 times. Now let's see if there's a simpler way to do this code. So if you're going to look, you will see that there is something called a next costume. So basically what we are doing is we are switching one costume or the other. So instead of doing that, let us just replace it with next costume. And every time after costume, let's give it a wait and let's make it move even faster. So I will just give 0.2 seconds. Now let's see. So we've got the same code with this single line. So after this has moved 100 times, what we want to do is change scene. Okay, we're going to take a second scene now. So what we're going to do is after the on title page, after the charka is displayed 100 times, we are going to switch to another backdrop. Now what is that backdrop going to be? So let's pull up another backdrop. So I'm going to click on backdrops. This is right now one backdrop. Now I'm going to, from this sprite library, from the scratch library, pull up another scene. So I'm going to pick outdoors because I want to make one of the animals walk. So let's look at, let's pick up a jungle. Okay. Now here you can see statically it is just showing jungle because this is what is selected. You can select this. So scenes have to be done using coding, right? So we have already said that when it starts, it is going to show title page. And now we're going to see that after it has repeated the charka movement 100 times. Let's make it 50 for now, so that's faster. Now we are going to go to look again and we are going to switch backdrop and this time to jungle. So let's see. Right on. So we've got 50 times repeat and after that switch backdrop to jungle. And what do we want to do? We do not want a charka in the jungle. So before we switch backdrop to jungle, we are going to hide the charkha. So in the charkha code, under look, the last two lines towards the end, not last two, is show and hide. So I'm going to take hide and I'm going to hide it here. And I want to make sure that when we start, it is visible. So I'm going to put a show here. I'm going to further reduce this to say 20 times. Now once we switch backdrop to jungle, I want to bring a character whom I can make walk. So I'm going to pick up one of the animals. So we have a nice bear walking. So I'm going to take that up. Now one thing you want to make sure is saving the story. You want to continuously save it. Scratch software does provide very primitive kind of saving. There's not much auto. If you lose something, very difficult to get back. So what you want to do, you want to save to your computer and you want to save it like scene 1, like learning multi-scene. So that's the name of my story and I'm saving it scene 1 complete. So once you've done scene 2, we will save it as scene 2. Okay. Now we've got bear. Now the first thing we want is we do not want the bear in the first scene. So we can use either even when green flag clicked or we can use the first title, any of those two events. And we want to go to look and say that the bear is hidden. Now we want the bear to come along only when the backdrop switches to the jungle. Okay, now I'm going to show in the full screen. Let's see the story till now. So that's the first scene. We have hidden the bear and we have shown the charkha. Now the backdrop has changed and the bear is still hidden. So we are going to bring the bear up. So go to looks and the bear has come up. Okay, now the bear has come up here and we are going to make it walk. So now let's go to the costumes of this bear and let's just look at the costumes. So we can see that it's very well detailed walking cycle of a bear. So we've got 8 costumes. So considering we just did a smart coding earlier, so what we're going to do, we are going to take a loop from control. So let's just take a repeat again. And we are going to just pick up next costume and we are going to put some weight there. So let's take 0.2. Okay, we can just click on this to see it is moving, it is not walking. So we need to give it motion. So we're going to make it move. And let's do it like 20 times. Okay, so now the bear is walking. Whoa. After the bear reaches, so I'm going to make it 25. And after the bear has walked till there, I'm going to go to backdrop and give a last scene. So I'm using paint because I want to create a new scene. And this is called end scene. So I'm going to thank you, PP volunteer, for watching this tutorial. So bring it here and I'm going to make it bigger. I want to bring the logo, so I'm going to bring the logo sprite. So I'm going to So this is the end scene. Now, after the bear has done its walking, I am going to look and switch backdrop to the end scene. I'm going to also save this learning multi-scene, and I have got scene 3 complete. I'm going to make it full screen, and I'm going to click the green button. So first page, bear is invisible, Charkha moves. Second page, Charkha is invisible, bear moves, and bear reaches the end, and we have this. Now one thing which we observe is that when the charkha, when the bear starts to move, we want it to start right from here. Okay, so we want to set its position. So going to go to motion, and just before it shows up, I want to set this here. There we go. And I also want to say before, after switching backdrop, I want to hide itself. Now one last thing we will do is we want to add some music. So right when the story begins, I'm going to pick up one of the music, and I'm going to take the event when green flag clicked. I'm going to play sound classic piano. I'm going to save to the computer. I'm going to say sound complete. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Now the key is that there are multiple new things which the children are learning in Camp 2, and of course in the first camp it was all introduction, everything was new. So the way to make it happen for children is with your team, with every child, every time you're coding, keep asking, like make sure that every child in the team has an opportunity to code, and rest of the children are participative so that they are continuously revising the same things over and over again. And as they do that, it will start sticking on them. Thank you so much. Have fun. Bye-bye.